Hello everybody. So I'm going to go over the DBQ structure as well as an outline, and I'm going to show you guys a model DBQ, and then I'll explain what you need to complete for your homework assignment over this weekend. So we're going to start off with how are points earned. So just a quick overview of how points are earned. You earn 1 point for your thesis, 1 point for contextualization, up to 3 points for your evidence, and up to 2 points for your analysis and reasoning. The structure. So the first paragraph should always include your contextualization and your thesis statement. So your contextualization is letting the reader know what is going on in history either at this moment or what led up to this point. And then your thesis statement responds to the prompt with the historically defensible claim, so something that you can defend using historical facts. Your second and third paragraphs should include evidence from the documents. So in order to just earn 1 point, you need to use the content of 3 documents to address the prompt. If you want to earn the max, which is 2 points for evidence from the documents, you should be using 6 documents to support your argument. So the goal is to be using 6. You can earn 1 point for using 3, but the goal is to use 6 so you earn the max amount of points. Analysis and reasoning. So your analysis and reasoning should also fall within those second and third paragraphs. The analysis and reasoning point is your HIP as well as your complexity. So it should say 1 point right here, but there's 2 points you can earn for analysis and reasoning. So again, for completing HIP for 3 documents, whether that's the historical context for one, the purpose for another, and the point of view for a third, you get that 1 point for doing that. And then the complexity point is also another point that you can earn that falls within this category and would usually fall within your second and third paragraph, but can also fall in your fourth paragraph, which is your outside evidence. Outside evidence should be its own paragraph. This could also be before your evidence from the documents paragraphs, but outside evidence should stand on its own. So whether that's before, like right after your intro, or right before your conclusion, which is coming up next. And again, outside evidence should be evidence that is not presented in the document. So it has no correlation other than to helping build that argument to the documents. And then lastly, again, your conclusion. You don't earn any points in conclusion, but it's just best practice to restate your thesis when you're concluding your argument. Just in case if the reader didn't catch it at the beginning, they can at least see at the ending, oh, okay, well, here's their thesis. Now we're going to go ahead and look at an example of a DBQ. So what I want y'all to do is go to OneNote, go to the content library, click on writing expectations, and then click on the sample DBQ. And then once you're there, pause this video and take about 5 to 7 minutes to read through this DBQ. So pause this video and take 5 to 7 minutes to read through this DBQ, and then we'll go over scoring. Okay, so y'all should have completed reading by now. As y'all can see, I went ahead and highlighted where points were earned. So we have our scoring guide right here. We see at the bottom that they earned a 7 out of 7, so this was a perfect DBQ. And I want y'all to think about like what you just read, right? There was a ton of information within this DBQ. There was so many historical facts. It seems like within every sentence or every other sentence, this person is listing proper nouns, Medicare, Medicaid, Milton Friedman, saying the authors of these documents, right? And then if y'all noticed, this wasn't the most perfect writing, right? Like they wrote this in 1 hour, so they didn't have time to go back and spell check or to go back and check their grammar. This was time, and they wrote all of this within 1 hour. So we're just going to go over how they earn points. So in the beginning, like I said, first paragraph should be your contextualization and thesis. This was their context, this was their thesis. They also restated their thesis in the conclusion. Now you can see they brought up their evidence beyond the documents first. So remember how in the video I said the evidence beyond the document should be standalone. They technically still had it as a standalone. This could have been another paragraph right here, but because it connected so well with what their argument was for that next point, they just went ahead and let it float, and that's completely fine. It's more of my preference for y'all to keep your evidence separate, but they didn't lose points for not doing that. You can also see where they earn evidence from the documents. And notice how it's literally, for most of it, it's just a simple sentence where they're saying, like, in Barry Goldwater's eyes, this violated the principle of states' rights. Goldwater frames the issue as an abandonment at traditional American ideals, etc. So they're literally just explaining the document and using it to support their argument. If you notice, most, if not all, are falling right next to where they did HIP, where they bring up the document, they explain what the document is, they're not simply quoting the document, and then they're going into, okay, the point of view of this author, or the historical context of this document before I explain, or the point of view of this person before I explain, you know? So all of this, oh, I said that wrong, backwards, but still. And then lastly, their complexity point was earned within this paragraph. And technically they brought up outside evidence here as well, where this was Watergate. Okay, so your next steps. You guys are going to read and annotate the documents in OneNote that are your pre-DBQ assignment, so it's in the homework folder. And then you're going to create your own DBQ outline on that same page. So let me just show y'all where to go. Alright, y'all. Oh, here we go. So you guys have an assignment that looks like this. You're just taking notes on the documents. These are the documents you'll be using for your DBQ on Tuesday. And then you're creating your own personalized outline. So you can just build upon this. If you want to erase this, that's fine. But just create your own outline. If you need help, message me on Teams. I will be sure to help you. And I hope y'all have a great weekend.